Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalang.
Hare Krishna, welcome to our channel. Bhagavad-gita, here it is, because we have Bhagavad-gita as it is. Translation and commentary by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. And my name is Bhagavad-gita. That was the Swedish one. I also have the English one. Yes. And we are reading the 10th chapter, which is called The Opulence of the Absolute. And I want to read text 7 today. Etang vibhuting yogang cha mama yo veti tattvataha so vikalpena yogena yadyate natra sangshayaha. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mine engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. Yes. So one level or one measure of spiritual development is the level of faith. We often look at faith as something a little bit old-fashioned, a little bit childish. We just believe something that is told to us. But actually, faith comes from realization. It comes from knowledge, because knowledge will satisfy our intelligence. And knowledge will also help us understand what is what. But practicing spiritual life, it is also something that is tasted, something that becomes very clear. Purport. The highest summit of spiritual perfection is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless one is firmly convinced of the different opulences of the Supreme Lord, he cannot engage in devotional service. Generally, people know that God is great, but they do not know in detail how God is great. Here are the details. If one knows factually how God is great, then naturally he becomes a surrendered soul and engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. When one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him. This factual knowledge can be known from the description in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad-gita and similar literatures. Yeah, we have the saying, to know him is to love him, and that is there about God. Because when we get to know Krishna, there's just no one like Krishna. The fact is that he's God. He's very powerful. Everything comes from him. And in that sense, we are drawn to him because he's actually the source of everything. But then when we get to hear about him more as a person, he's also a delightful person to get to know. And he's able to manifest both those aspects, both the fact that he is God. He's holding the whole world in his hand, directly and indirectly. He comes here to take care of things. The whole existence of this material world is just something that comes from Krishna's energies, all in all. My daughter, when she was younger, teenager, and she came to me and she was saying, well, actually this God thing, I can accept that, but why should I pick Krishna? Because there are many religions. And I just said, well, you can look at the different conceptions of God in the different religion, and you can choose. Because actually we don't say we have one God and the other religion has another God. We're saying there is God and God is Krishna, and the Vedas are showing how Krishna is God. But they are showing a little more. They are also showing that we don't just accept him because he's very powerful, because everything, all the power comes from him, but also because we love him, because he's delightful. He's the most interesting person, the most, well, he does things in a way that is really attractive to our minds. We want to hear about him, we want to talk about him, and we want to get to know him more and more. In the administration of the universe, there are many demigods distributed throughout the planetary systems, and the chief of them are Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the 4 great Kumaras and other patriarchs. There are many forefathers, of the population of the universe, and all of them are born of the Supreme Lord Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna is the original forefather of all forefathers. These are some of the opulences of the Supreme Lord. When one is firmly convinced of them, he accepts Krishna with great faith and without any doubt, and he engages in devotional service. All this particular knowledge is required in order to increase one's interest in the loving devotional service of the Lord. One should not neglect to understand fully how great Krishna is, for by knowing the greatness of Krishna, one will be able to be fixed in sincere devotional service. So yes, if the goal is devotional service, then we want to get to know Krishna in order to be able to devote ourselves to him. And if the goal is just, we live in this world, we're born, we grow up, first we're innocent little children, and we don't concern ourselves with the world and how things work. And then suddenly we wake up and we see a whole big world and we don't understand how it works. We see that our parents are just fallible human beings like everybody else. And we see that there's so much we don't know. And then we kind of call out to the unknown and say, who am I? Where do I come from? Is there a God? What is the meaning of life? And we want answers to those questions. And that's also a reason to learn about Krishna. Because actually Krishna is that answer. And devotional service is that answer as well. Because it's not that Krishna just exists and then we know that he exists and then we go on with our lives. No, we want to connect to that Krishna. But we don't just want to step into the unknown. Because to take that, it's a big step to decide, from now on, Krishna, I am yours. I am surrendering my life to you in devotional service in order to love you and serve you and please you with all that I am. We're not doing that whimsically. We want to know that Krishna, and then we want to sense or understand or accept that in a realized way and in an intelligent way, that yes, this is a person that I can actually trust to give my love to give my devotion to give my life to. So that's what we do. We learn about Krishna. We're not just going to say, okay, Krishna is God, chop chop, let's just do it. Because it comes both from knowledge, both from studying. It also comes from realization. When we apply this knowledge in our life in a practical way, we can realize, we can sense the truth of it. And also, of course, by Krishna's mercy, because Krishna also cares about us. We're speaking about devotional service, how we are developing our love for Krishna, but actually Krishna loves us too. So when he sees us, that we take some sincere steps to come closer to him, he will also help us. He will also give us that mercy. And the devotees, the representatives of Krishna, they will also give us that mercy. So when we combine that, the process of devotional service, the study of the knowledge in the revealed scriptures, our sincere desire to know Krishna and Krishna's kindness upon us, then this becomes a very real thing, a very practical thing, and also a very, how to say, now we have the opportunity as human beings, we have the capacity not to know everything, because we're still very small, minute spiritual sparks, but we have the capacity to know ourselves and to know our connection to Krishna and to know Krishna, maybe not completely, because Krishna is very vast, but we can know enough. So we say that is actually the best way to utilize this human life. So that's this 10th chapter is another step closer to that Krishna that we want to get to know. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you for watching. We aim for updates every Tuesday and Friday. Please come back. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down there. We also have some links and information for you. And there is, of course, the subscribe button. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I'm a Hare Krishna, and I approve this message. Subscribe.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.